My name is Ren and this is Worldbuilder Chronicles. Today, we will be discussing how to get started on your story. Getting the first pen to paper, taking that first great bound into your wonderful story. How fresh, how new. And of course, to do that, you have to Okay, so maybe just jumping into it is a little bit harder than it looks. But you have to start from the start, right? Writing it just as God intended. Yeah, no. So if you want to actually write something good, or even get started writing at all, oh dear art block, have mercy, you should do not that. Unless you want to end up with the word "the" meticulously carved into the page. So, the start is so goddamn important to your story, and you are, according to all known conventions of structure and order, supposed to write that first? No way, man. Too much is riding on your glorious unwritten opener. You risk it, the great fumble, a blunder of a first step. Who's going to read and enjoy your content now if you can't be gripped intensely by a line one? No. A fumbled opener? Just throw the whole thing out. It's gone all wrong. Not that you have much yet. In my opinion, it is in your best interest to leave that all for later. Right. So writing is hard. And starting to write is even harder, unfortunately. This is a noticeable and documented event, right? You ever notice the hardest thing to write is always at the start, page one, your opening shot, some sort of grand opening statement. All of it existing for the purpose of sucking out your creative spirit like you're some sort of juice box. And yeah, it does suck. It's an absolute hellscape. So really, how do you get through this, lest you be whittled away in chasing the high of the perfect cold open? An easy answer is, well, don't. Well, okay, so here's your solution. Just don't. Take it easy. Pick it back a while. You'll get to the start of it, sometimes, whenever suits. Instead, just start yourself right about the middle. And by middle, I really can mean anywhere. Take a character plan, a description of some place, someone, something. If you have a scene in your head that's screaming to get out, why on earth would you start from the start? Instead, just roll with the punches that you've been given, wrestle with your internal momentum, and go write that scene. That moment that you have already is your no resistance ticket straight into writing. Like, just take a second to remember, you're writing this on a Word document. You're not carving runes into a stone tablet. You need to stop being so precious about it all and just write. You can always delete things if it gets too cringe, and so you should. You should be deleting stuff. This is your first draft, for God's sakes. So take to your page and remember, so, and but are your greatest tools for keeping draft momentum. Slap one of those bad boys down at the start of your paragraph and fill the blanks later. Allow yourself to get to the bit that you know how to write, preferably before your brain sabotages you. And the actual start can come later. Like really, who's gonna know? They're not gonna know. Shh, they won't know. This is just a little secret. Continuing though, pretty quickly you'll notice that you'll have some sort of an internal timeline kicking around in your head. This will happen, then that, and before that. And over here this happens. And this one keeps happening. And this will happen naturally, with approximately no effort on your behalf. The timeline just sort of makes itself after a while. You'll naturally get a sense for where or when things come together. However, you do gotta remember to start somewhere at some point though. The world building cycle is, she's a vicious mistress. And like, I get it. It's understandable to want to put it off. Actually getting started can be scary, and the pressure to do things right can be kind of overwhelming. Which I gotta say, it's an easier thing to say than it is to do. And just try not to worry about getting it right. You can try again, as long as you've got something there down to work with. Feel free to come back to edit it as many times as you need. It's not going anywhere. Eventually though, you'll have enough pieces of the puzzle to be able to choose somewhere to start. So the next step is just choose. And no, not like that. An easy place to start is, well, at the start. Choose an event that's early on in your brain timeline. Probably a time where maybe something exciting or intriguing is about to happen. Then throw down your imaginary camera. Bam! Scene. There's your opener. You really can't go too wrong with keeping things all nice and chronological. You can also go for a bit more of a classical or storybook approach. Start from the perspective of the storyteller instead of your main character, and then just drop some lore on these suckers. Give them the old fairy tale opener. This is the story of a brave adventurer. There once was a... type stuff. Or tell a story of an old legend that's totally just a legend, guys. I'm not pulling no shenanigans here. Ink. Another more convoluted way that I'm sure we all like a taste of every so often is the completely disjointed event sort of cold open. It can be a little bit harder to do since you are more liable to confusing your audience, just about always, but is probably the best way to generate intrigue into your story. Cold opens are awesome for mysteries. Not so much if the event you show has little payoff though. Gotta choose a pivotal one, in some definition of the word. And of course, there are just as many unconventional means to start your story too. Far more than I can shake a stick at. So now, go, take your newfound freedom to write and start that sucker! So, I guess what I'm saying is just go for it, man. Write your shit. Starting from the start is usually a pretty bad idea for a myriad of reasons, from coherence to paralysis. So start somewhere. Listen to your brain telling you what it wants. It's really the way to go. So get out there and get creative. Thank you for watching this video all the way to the end. If you liked it, please consider giving me a like and subscribe. And if you really liked it, consider supporting me over on Ko-fi. Thank you for watching. Bye bye!